Hey guys, and welcome to my new Let's Play where I'm going to be playing with the Royalty and Legacy and building up to creating a new Ultimate Decades Challenge. Alright, so you can see here I am loaded into the Manage Households. You can ignore these guys. I'm in an older save, so some stuff is already placed down. Obviously, there's going to be some modern stuff still in here because I'm not going to go through and replace all of it. Probably my cousin video calls me every now and then, like usually once a week. If she does that, I will play the game while I talk to her and like start replacing more buildings as I go. That way they're replaced. But for now, I just put something down that I need. It's going to start in Oasis Spring when we are actually playing the Separated Princess because they're actually from Dulce Valley, but I am saying that this is how far they've run so far, and then as I play, they'll get further and further. They are headed to Ondarian, where Princess Desiree is betrothed to the youngest prince in a family there. To basically, they're seeking asylum. So I'm gonna go ahead and load into the first family here. I'll explain it when I get in there. One moment. Great. So this is who was formerly the Bailey Moon family. I did change it so that they are not the Bailey Moons because Octavia would have taken his last name. But this is Thorn. He did obviously get a makeover because he wouldn't have been able to dye his hair blonde. I did end up putting him in all the same outfits for everything because he's not going to be here long. And then this is Octavia, his wife, obviously, his queen. I have gone into them and already set them as royalty. This is just kind of, you can't even see her. Oh, I don't want that. You know what? Like I said, it really doesn't matter. But since that's hot weather, just in case when we go in, just in case when we go in, if it's hot weather, I don't want her wearing that. This is the Crown Prince Orange. So like I said, I changed all their last names to be Bailey to make sure that they stayed Bailey. I did not change Orange's last name. Um, I don't think this is really that much royalty, but I figure he probably goes out a lot on voyages because he's the Crown Prince, so he needs to be able to make sure that he is keeping morale up and things like that. And then they also have a daughter named Ashton. This is her here. She's real cute. And then I'm not going to flip all of her stuff. She's wearing this for everything except sleep and swim. This is their young boy, Corey. He's real cute. They have another daughter named Desiree, which we'll meet in the other household because she's the one who is going to survive. The kingdom does not know about Desiree. So in my headcanon, Desiree was a very rough pregnancy that Octavia was managed to hide because she was sick in bed, um, literally for the whole time. And then when the baby was born, Desiree was still kind of sickly, and they were afraid to introduce her to the kingdom and then have her just pass because they didn't want that kind of heartbreak on themselves or the kingdom. So then, as they were gearing up, Desiree made a recovery. They were getting ready to introduce her to the kingdom and announce her birth. And then the whisper started that was a potential uprising from Thorin's brother Ember. Ember was betrothed to Octavia. They're both young adults. He was betrothed to Octavia. They were supposed to join their two kingdoms, the north of the chunk of land that they're on and the south of the chunk of land that they're on, because I'm using this map that I did not create, but I'm using this map here. So the south was the Baileys, the north was the Moon family. I don't know where, I haven't decided, but it basically cuts this map cuts them in kind of in half along like a line here, probably. Um, maybe like this. So half is the Moons, half is the Baileys, and they joined it together by originally betrothing Ember to Octavia, and Ember was going to move and be with, he was going to take over the North with Octavia because Octavia was the youngest daughter. And at the time, they did not have a son. However, as it got closer and closer to the wedding, Octavia's mother had a son, which changed all of their plans because then Octavia, it would make sense because the son would be taking over the throne. So instead, they betrothed their son, their infant son, to another infant. And when they came to discuss with the Baileys, Octavia met Thorn. Thorn went to her father and said, I'll marry her. Then the pact is still in place. We are still joining our families, and she will still be a queen. Of course, Octavia wanted to be queen. That was something that she was raised for. She was nearly old enough to take the throne, to be ready to be the queen when her baby brother was born. So she was fine with it. Her father was like, yeah, that's great. I don't have to break a pact that I have. So they agreed. The Bailey parents decided not to mention anything to Ember until the wedding was getting ready to start because they did not want him to kick up a fuss. So Ember basically finds out that he is no longer betrothed to Octavia as his older brother is marrying Octavia. So he is upset, understandably. He's lost his throne. He's lost his title because now he knows he's going to be pushed back. He's not going to be next in line to the throne because his brother has officially found a wife who is young and who is going to start having children. So he knows that now he has even further lost his grip on any type of throne. He's not going to take over the North and work as a partnership the way that they had planned to. And so he is enraged. He goes off, he becomes a knight, he trains. The entire time he is stewing. And every time a new child's birth is announced, he is angrier. So first his nephew Orange is born, and he knows that's it. There goes his entire claim to the throne because Orange is surviving. Orange is making it. He's getting older. He's a strong, strong little boy. Then his niece Ashton is born, and Ember is like, great. So now they're going to start forward using their daughter as a pawn to make their own kingdom stronger by marrying her off to other kingdoms. So he knows at that point he has to start acting. And then Corey is born, and he is even more sure that he's never going to see a throne in his life. And that's when he makes the plan that he is going to start to schmooze back up with his brother, make his way back into their graces, and he's going to take the throne that should have been his. Even though the Delso Valley throne was never going to be his, it was always going to be Thorn's, and he was supposed to have a different throne. Doesn't matter. He's been stewing for so long in his own mind, out just fighting and killing, that he has decided that should have been his throne all along. So these whispers have started to spread around, which has made Octavia's pregnancy with Desiree even more stressful. But they are sure that they know Ember enough. Thorn is sure he knows his little brother enough that when Ember comes to make up with him, he is convinced that the rumors are just rumors. Octavia begs him to bring it up. He refuses, and she refuses to see him while she's not well. They can pass it off easily because back then, a lot of the times if someone was sick, it was something contagious and you didn't want to spread it around. After she has the baby, he's not staying at the castle at that time. But he is staying nearby and he does come and visit. She just keeps the baby far away. Um, no one hears the baby. Like she is very determined to not let Ember meet this baby because Octavia knows she can see the way that Ember interacts with his niece and nephews. She knows another baby is not going to do any help for his mental status. But Thorne's completely blind to it because this is his baby brother. They grew up together. They played together. They sparred together. They trained as knights together. He knows his brother and he understands why Ember's so upset. Thorne would have been upset too if someone went and stole his future bride. So, anyways, so he's part of the family now because one, I need to use the genetics to create him, but two, he has moved into the castle. He has essentially said to Thorne, I've heard of an invasion plan. I want to be here to help protect the family. Thorne is completely blindsided. He doesn't suspect Ember at all. Octavia, however, tells Thorne, we have to get Desiree out of here. No one knows about her. We can get her free. So that is going to take us to our next family. This is our next family. Now, when Octavia says no one knows about Desiree, that's not fully true. Are two technically households now that know, three technically, the Baileys, the Lady in Waiting, and the Cordelia's family. I think they're supposed to be Thebes, and she changed her last name. But regardless, these are one of the royal families in Odarion. They know about baby Desiree because Cordelia and Octavia are very close friends. And as Ember had suspected, of course they are using their daughters to make deals with other kingdoms to marry their daughters for stronger alliances. The Thebes, or Abrantes, I guess, are some of their oldest friends. They have known them for ages, and Queen Cordelia, I haven't set them up in the system to actually be royalty. I have to go and change that. But Queen Cordelia and her husband Thiago have three sons. They have Jack, they have Norman, and they have little Porter. Porter is betrothed to Princess Desiree. He's a little older than her, but uh, Queen Cordelia doesn't plan on having more children because her birth with Porter was so rough, and they already have three boys. There's very, very rare chance that all three of her boys are going to be wiped out. The whole idea behind the youngest two is, neither of them are going to ever have a throne realistically when the plan is made. But Queen Cordelia and Queen Octavia have discussed the fact that Octavia is convinced something terrible is going to happen to all of them. And she wants to make sure that, one, Desiree is safe, and two, that if something happens to the rest of the family, that Desiree has been raised by someone who knows how to rule. And she believes that the Thebes, the Abrantes family, can do that. She believes that they would be okay, that her daughter would be safe there. So the reason I picked them is because the other families did not, in Ondarian, didn't have any boys that were close to the age, and I didn't want to mess around with that. I did think of going into one of the other families, um, but because they had two teens, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. I can just make them fall in love and have them start having babies. And the older sister of the boy, she could have been friends with Octavia and like made the deal. But then I realized the two teens aren't matched up in the system as being related, but they are. Their niece and their aunt and nephew. So I was like, I'm not gonna mess with that family. They've got their own issues going on. I'm gonna just go and do my thing. So this is the family that they are running to on Darion, and the the last household, the one that I will be playing with mostly, is a former lady in waiting to the queen and the princess. Okay, so this is Elizabeth Hensley. She it was a lady in waiting to Queen Octavia. She has agreed to take Princess Bailey, Princess Desiree, and get out. To take her, to save her, to keep her safe. Now, she is going to put on mourning clothes. Oh. She is going to put on mourning clothes when she gets out. Like when I first start playing this family, they will be in mourning clothes because she's going to go on to say that she is widowed. She has lost her husband and it's just her and her young baby together and they're trying to make it to family. Um Actually, I'm going to give her a ring that she can wear. It has to be one that isn't gonna mess with her eyelashes though. Actually, I can change her eyelashes if I need to. This is just jewelry that um the I'm just gonna say that this is jewelry that the family gave her so that she is more believable. I'm gonna change her eyelashes also. Let me remove that and then go, oops. So, anyways, as I'm doing this, so she's going to be saying that she is in mourning, that she has lost her husband, and that her and her daughter are traveling to family who cannot leave where they are to come and get them, but who will give them sanctuary when they get there. So that's going to be her cover story. She's going to try and work as much as she can along the way because she needs to take care of this little girl. She made a promise and she intends to keep that promise. She does in her pocket in her inventory, she has the Queen's necklace which gave to Elizabeth with a note for Desiree. So Elizabeth needs to not get caught because she'd have that note on her. And then the queen also gave her 3 different pieces of jewelry, 2 rings, and and a set of earrings, and then we're saying that as well. Um, and the ones that she gave her before she left, those are intended for Elizabeth to pawn as she travels so that she can pay to stay in it. Because I'm saying like I'm saying that it took them um like 12 hours to get from here to here, and then that's where they're staying currently. Um, and they're going to be staying in an inn. I put down a tavern next to the plot of land. They are going to technically have a plot of land where they live in Oasis Spring because you have to have a home plot, but they're going to slowly travel and get up this way. So obviously because she has an infant, she's going to have to stop every now and then and stay in taverns because the infants can't stay in tents. So I'm going to watch the days and like follow the age ups because I'm going to turn aging off in this save so that I have to age them up manually. So I'm probably going to make a new Ultimate Decades and go backwards in time, like 16 years back from 1330, because this is going to be the save that my Ultimate Decades that I'm going to do on YouTube is going to start in. So I need to freeze the townies until 1300, but I'm gonna go. Everyone else can go in and start aging up and stuff because, like, the families I'm going to actually play with, like in Ondarion, the Thebe household can age because they need to be the proper ages for when Desiree takes over the kingdom. It needs to make sense. I'm not gonna let the her uncle Ember age because when she takes over her throne again, she's going to kill him. That it has to be done. That's the only way to right the wrongs. So this is Princess Desiree. She is currently an infant. She is the first day of being an infant. She is very, very cute. I just played with the genetics to make her, so hopefully when she ages up, she's just as pretty as her family. Because her mom is a very pretty sim. I am gonna give her this for her sleepwear. I do have to change her outfit because I just did this so that I could take some screenshots of them like leaving, like her handing her off to Elizabeth. I actually, Yeah, let me show you. So this is a screenshot that I took. This is the Queen giving Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is right. That's the necklace that will be passed down. I had to take it back off of her, but this is, and you'll have to excuse her dress. She aged up in the game and changed all of her outfits. But this is her handing off her daughter, the little princess, to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth agreeing that she will take care of her. So I wanted her dressed appropriately for that, but they are going to change into morning wear because they would be in mourning. And actually, I'm going to see if I can do that now, and I will be right back. One moment. Okay, so I just gave her a black dress and this like head wrap. I thought I had like a black veil that I could give her for her formal, but I couldn't end up finding it. I need to change her dress here. So I did just end up keeping this for all the outfits mostly. There are a few that obviously like she's not wearing it. Obviously her sleepwear, and I didn't dye that black because it doesn't make sense. I don't think they would have to be in mourning for that. And then there's her night, her swimmer, but she's not gonna be swimming during the time she's in mourning anyways. In the her cold weather, I did give her this dress because it's long sleeve, so it covers more, and it has like this little pouch and stuff. And then for Desiree, she went ahead and just put her in the same outfit for everything. So her nightwear basically. She does have a cap on at nighttime and she doesn't wear shoes. And then her cold weather is all of that except for that she has some leggings on underneath because they may be out and about while she is still an infant. But that is Desiree and Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is going to adopt Desiree as her own. Um, I did also, when I was setting them up, I played a little bit and I did record it, but it's really bad because I was exhausted. So it was just kind of, I don't know, I sounded just not with it. So I just deleted it. It's not worth trying to edit around and make me sound better. I don't know how to do that. When I was playing with Elizabeth, originally, for some reason, it assigned Elizabeth as transgender. Now, normally, if this was a regular gameplay, I would have kept that because I don't mind. I've played through Sims having transitions and things, and even in this time period, I would allow it to happen. I had in my very first save one of the Gen 2 offspring. They were born Sybil. They did not feel like that. They transitioned as much as you could. They put on a binder with the Lupino LGBTQ mod. They left home, they cut off their hair, and they changed their name to Simon. Unfortunately, then my game corrupted, so I wasn't able to ever play them out. Um, but they ran away from home in order to be themselves and not put added pressure onto their family. They did leave behind, because in that save I had them all keeping their dowries in piggy bank jars. They left their jar with their dowry behind, so they started over with nothing. But for this particular save, because of the fact that Elizabeth is going to have to pretend to be Desiree's mother, I did not want to put Elizabeth in a position where they feel as if they are a man, but can never ever express that because Elizabeth will always be officially Desiree's mom, really, because Octavia is going to die. Um, Unfortunately, that's just how it's going to go. So, as a compromise, I changed that back, and Elizabeth is a cis woman. But I have let her be assigned to being a lesbian because that is also not something you typically saw during this time. If you did, it was very hush hush. But I figure Elizabeth is never going to marry because has dedicated her life to protecting Desiree. And that means she needs to always be around Desiree. She will be working to care for Desiree. She'll be raising Desiree. So her entire life will be centered around Desiree. She will not get married. She will not have children of her own. So I figure I will let her it depends on what I do when they get to Ondarian. I don't know if I'm going to have, and I might not have them move to Ondarian. I might have them move to and stay in Tartosa because if the king knows that they have, when Ember is king, if he knows that they have friends in Ondarian, he may go looking there. Um, and he never saw Elizabeth because Elizabeth has always been Octavia's lady in waiting, but she doesn't, when they would host him, she didn't need her lady in waitings to be around. So they would be released to go and do what they need to do, take care of the children, things like that. So he does not know Elizabeth. He is not going to realize that there is a servant missing. He's not going to realize there's a baby missing. So she can realistically could have settled in on Darian, but if he knows that the friendship that Octavia and Cordelia had, then he would be like, oh, that's strange. Around the time it would take to travel on foot from here to there, you guys got a new servant who showed up with a baby. So instead of having him, because he's paranoid, so he would, even if it wasn't at all related, he would put two and two together. So instead, I'm going to have them probably settle in Tartosa because it's close, but not right there. And I don't know. I was thinking maybe put like a church there where they she could be devoted to the church and like they raise her there. I don't know. I haven't decided what they're going to do, but she can't own land for herself, and she can work. I'm gonna say she could probably like bartend and stuff, but I may find somewhere that she could live with the baby in like a group setting. Maybe she finds a young family who needs help and she moves in with them and starts up a relationship with the wife. Maybe she moves in with a widow who's lost her husband, but she has kept the land because that was the agreement. I don't know. I haven't decided how I'm going to go about it yet. If this was a further save, no, that doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure what the end result is going to be, where she's going to live, but I am going to let her explore um her sexuality a little bit so that she doesn't have to be alone forever. Because I think she's sacrificing a lot to take Desiree and go on the run. She is risking her life. She deserves some happiness. So I'm going to let her have that happiness. And let me get back into the managed households. I'll be back. Alright, so we are back here. So yes, these are the main households that I'm going to be messing around with, kind of playing with. I think that I'm probably going to, the first thing I'm going to go and do is probably get in here. I'm going to buy them a playmat for the baby. The first, um, oh, tag don't lay on my keyboard. The first place that they are staying in is this tavern that's literally right next door. This house, I bulldozed it, but this is the first tavern that they're going to be staying at. And I did go in and like put a crib and like a sleeping room. There's already like bedrooms, but then I put in like a kind of community room nursery type area almost. So like if you were to travel with your husband as a husband and wife and you had kids, you would stick the kids in this room. So I did set that up, and I figure that will probably be less expensive for them to stay in. I think they have 800 right now. I have to decide how much they would charge per night to stay at a tavern in medieval times. I'm going to look it up and see if they have any records. I don't know that anyone's going to have any records, but I want to go in here and get a playmat for her to keep in her inventory because that makes sense that she would have like a backpack that she could carry around some things in, like clothes and stuff, and maybe some food because I'm assuming because this is set up as a bar, so she'll be able to order food, but they're going to want to make food. I may also look into tents. I don't think I have a tent that is um very medieval timesy. I may have to download one later, but as of for right now, it doesn't even matter because the infant can't sleep in a tent, so they will not be staying in a tent until she is at least a toddler because otherwise she can't sleep in it and there's she wouldn't leave the baby out in the just outside because she promised to take care of the baby. It wouldn't make sense for her to do that. So for right now, a tent wouldn't really matter, but I am going to look into it for later on because I think it's going to take them at least, I would say probably that will take them at least, like the lowest it could take is a year to get there. But yeah, so I think I'm going to look for a tent for them because at least it's going to take a year. It probably would take more to travel from there to there. I don't have a good mapping system, but They don't have cars, obviously. She doesn't have a wagon and she doesn't have a horse. I may see if I can save them enough money to get a horse, but then I'd have to put down places they can stay where then they'd have to start paying for like a stable to keep the horse in everywhere they go. Um, Plus you can't double ride on a horse, so it doesn't they'd need two horses, but I definitely think that by the end of Princess Desiree's in toddlerhood, by the latest, they will be, because that would mean that they were on the road for 5 years. I don't think they're going to be on the road for 5 years. Oh, she is labeled as princess and she's still in the dynasty. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that actually does kind of make me sad though, because like she's not okay. So they currently have 800 simoleons. Like I said, they're not going to live on this lot. I just need to get a playmat. Let me actually see. But I think I'm going to play a little bit with I'm going to get them set up with what I need them to have. And then my thought is I'm going to go into the main Bailey household and I am going to wipe them out. I did decide that I think the children are going to be, let me just see. The children are going to be locked into a tower. I don't think I'm going to have them die on screen. If he decides to kill them, I will, but that's pretty. I'm torn right now between do I want to, yeah, see these are usable and these are bed tents. Okay, so I don't have anything. That's fine. I'm gonna see if I can find one that this but is usable. Because that's just a prop right now. But what was I saying? Right. I don't think I'm going to go in and kill the children right away because I did have the thought that like the way that the Ultimate Decade Challenge breaks down ages means that there is a potential. So toddlers toddlers for 3 years from the ages of 2 to 5. So Corey at least is 2 right now, and then Ashton is at the lowest 5. They are at ages where they are young enough to forget who they are, like completely block it out. Especially with Ashton being a little older, it's possible maybe they wouldn't, but it's with a traumatic event that could also affect a child to completely suppress their memories. And then if so my thought is that Ember could just forcefully marry them off to other families who he knows he can trust. So it would have to be that is so cute. It would have to be people who he knows are not going to then turn around and stab him in the back. So my thought on that is he obviously has friends because he is royalty. If the entire Bailey line is wiped out, which he plans to do, he would be next in line. Like he's going to kill Octavia and Thorn. He's going to kill Orange, who is the heir. He's and then he's going to hide a spirit away the small children. Whether the He's not going to let the court or like the general public believe that he killed them. He's going to make it very clear that he did not, because then they won't turn on him for killing children. He is also going to make sure that they cannot take the throne. So he would marry Ashton off to a lower noble, just like a random lord, and then in another kingdom where they don't have, basically it would strip her without her even knowing. It would strip her of her rights to the throne. And then for Corey, I'm thinking he could stick Corey with a random peasant family. Like he knows a peasant family in another kingdom. This peasant family does not have any sons. And he can say, hey, if you want to raise out of serfdom and you want your freedom, you will take this little boy and you will never speak about where he came from again. And you will move to another village and you will pretend like this baby has always been your baby. So I'm thinking that might be what he does to get those children out of his hair. Ashton, it would definitely be easier for him to marry Ashton off because she is between 5 and 12. She is somewhere in that zone. And she is not it is potential that she would not forget who she is or forget her parents. Like she would probably have dreams about them and stuff like that. I'm saying Corey is young enough at 2 that he would probably forget. And if he grows up his entire life with a loving adopted family and working the land and is busy and da 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 da, he is likely to be able to forget who he is, where he came from. And if the king lets, I'm going to say, like, okay, so he's going to say that Corey died in an accident because Corey, every time I paused my game, unpaused my game while I was trying to like get them set up, I swear to you, Corey was running for the water. So he could easily be like, oh, Corey drowned and like set it up to be like that. So unfortunately, like, oh, Corey is gone. That way, Corey never hears about it. No one ever goes looking for Corey. And then I think that Princess Desiree, because if she were to ascend to the throne to avenge her family, she needs to believe her family is dead. So I am undecided on if Ember would actually marry off the other kids, and then just be like, whatever happens to them, happens to them. That's not up to me. Maybe he would send Ashton to a workhouse because they had those, I believe. Um, but either way, like maybe he just sends them off and he says, I don't care what you do with them. I just need to say that I did my part in getting them out of the kingdom and not doing something crazy to them. So maybe th- oh no, you can't be here, Octavia. Oh, she's not ready to let her daughter go. Oh, Octavia. I'm sorry I have to do this to you. So I think, yeah, I'm just really torn about what I want to do with the kiddos in that aspect. For the time being, I did go ahead and set it up so that there is a tower with a toddler bed, a child bed, 2 little toys, and then a toilets. And I'm going to delete the ladder that goes up to it after I get them up there, and that so that while he's killing the rest of the family, the children are locked in the tower and don't see it. Um, so there's at least that. Then they'll have each other up there, and then I'm just gonna leave them up there for a while to see while I decide what I'm going to do. Um, because I think that that makes sense. Yeah, so I think that I'm going to go ahead and load in there and get the kids in the tower and maybe play out killing the family. The only problem I have with if I put the kids in the tower and then switch to another family, I'm going to have to constantly go back in and put them back in the tower because they will get out. But we'll see. We'll deal with that when we come to it. I'm not super worried about it right now. All right, so we are back in their household. There is just dirty laundry everywhere. Okay, so the tower is, where is it? Oh, oopsie. You guys know that back. The tower is over here. And as you can see, there is a single toilet up here. There is a baby potty and an adult potty. There are 2 toys, and then there are beds. And there is a window so they can like look out and get some fresh air and stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here, please. I'm going to have Princess Ashton climb up here, and then I'm going to have Ember climb up after. Can they climb the stairs with babies? Okay, so I just went ahead and Googled it. So they cannot climb stairs with toddlers. So once I get Ashton up here and her uncle up here, I'm gonna just teleport the baby up here. Um, that way it's like he carried him up here. And once she gets up here, she'll go here. Okay, and then he's gonna come up after her. I'm gonna have her come and play with a toy just while I wait for them to get up here because she's bored and I need her to not leave. So he's probably like, hey, let's play a game to them, and he brings them up here. because he doesn't want to scare them. I think deep down, even though he's kind of a rotten person, that he does love them. You know, like they are still his family. Okay, let's teleport him here. Why can I not? Don't throw a tantrum. Teleport into this room because then I can put you in this bed. Oh no, I think there may not be. Where is he? Where is he? Oh my god, I don't know where he is. Okay, he was in a bed somewhere sleeping. So he can climb the stairs, I'm assuming. Because there's a bed somewhere. No, the toddler beds aren't up here. So where the heck? This is the only toddler bed, right? Other than the one I just put in the tower. Right, I'm gonna cheat all of his needs up because maybe he's upset and that's why he won't come. Yeah, he's going to go nap in this bed, but he... Oh my god, there he is. I think he's stuck because he shouldn't be on that rock. Reset. Okay. And then I should be able to teleport him up here. I should have playtested this. Whoops. I didn't know there was a rock the toddlers could sleep on. Okay, so now that he's up here, I'm going to cheat his energy back down, and I'm going to have Ember come and tuck him in. Like, oh, love you, go to sleep. I am also going to cheat Ember's potty skill. Or Corey. I can't, because I can't see it. That's fine. So he's going to put Corey to bed. We'll pretend like he doesn't have a stinky diaper. Pretend like you can't see that. What are you doing? And as soon as he's off this ladder, I'm deleting it. We're pretending it's a trapdoor. I'm going to put a rug in there. What? I'm going to have to cheat him back out. That's fine. Let me get a rug down. Oh, I like that carpet though. Okay, so there's not really anything. I'm not creative enough to come up with like making one, so I'm just going to say that this is the trapdoor and that it's pulled up over where the ladder goes. The ladder when I'm just gonna teleport him in and out when he needs to do things. Um, I don't know how he got back up there because I definitely did not tell him to go back up there. He definitely was off the ladder when I went into build mode. Whatever. I'm gonna just cheat him down again. Teleport him there. Reset him. Yeah, see, he's not actually up there. Okay, so now we need him to. Oh, good, perfect. Thorns out. I wish I had the extreme violence mod. She's craving alcohol. Because if I had the extreme violence mod, I could have him actually kill. Maybe I'll pause my recording and see. Well, no, because they'll retaliate. So I'm going to have him come up here and confront his brother. Like, where are my kids? You know what I mean? Because obviously his kids are missing and he doesn't understand why they're missing. But he suspects it's Ember because now he's starting to get into what Octavia was saying. Like, oh, this is serious. But unfortunately for him, Ember isn't playing around. And Ember's going to say, really? Well, and the thing is that they are really well matched in their fighting because they're both trained to be knights. Like that is a thing I can't have them fight. They don't dislike each other enough. Okay, they have a difficult relationship. I want them to fight, but he's like, "Where are my kids?" And Ember's like, "I don't know." But then Ember's going to kill him. So I'm gonna have him. I think I'm gonna do struck by lightning because then it'll kind of seem like he did something. Don't apologize. Poison will be how he kills Orange. And you're not sad about that. So now he's going to go and he's gonna find Octavia. No. He's gonna go and he's gonna find Octavia and he's gonna be like, "Hey, so I'll let your kids out and I won't do anything to Orange if you do what you were supposed to do and you marry me." And she's gonna say, "No, absolutely not." At which point he's going to be like, "Okay, well, just so you know, I'm not giving Orange the antidote." So then she's gonna rush over to see Orange, and Orange, yeah, okay. So he's gonna say that, go and say that to her. Don't witness a death. You don't care. You killed him. Bye. Here's your option. Here's what you can do. And she's like, "No, I don't care what you say. I'm not marrying you." They're arguing. Is my reshade on? I don't think my reshade's even. There it is. Okay. Yeah, they do not like each other. Bye. Okay, so he's like, "Okay, well, fine. I gave you a chance. I tried. Orange, wake up." Okay, and she's gonna run in here as fast as she can in time to see. Orange, no. You also need to be in here. Normally he wouldn't be sleeping in this because this is like a servant's quarter, but he just really didn't feel well, so he went to lay down, and now they understand why he didn't feel well because, like Ember said, he's not going to give him the antidote. So he was poisoned. Unfortunately, that he felt like that would be the kindest way for Orange to go out. Um, which honestly, not really, because I feel like poison would be very, very uncomfortable to die from. So he's going to die from poison. And she is already, get over here. She's already so, so sad that now she's going to be heartbroken because she's seeing, yeah, sure, you can clue me. She's also seeing her son die, which, like, that would mess you up. Like, first your husband, now your son, which is going to lead her to die of a broken heart. So he doesn't have anything to do with actually killing Octavia. His whole goal was to marry Octavia. He, in his own weird, twisted way, he did love Octavia. He wanted to be with Octavia. He thought that they were going to be together. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that she was already not well. So killing off her entire family was probably not the smartest move. Um, because yeah, she's already so sad and so weak from all of that going on. So, Ember, can you come? He's sad. He can definitely be sad about, okay, not about losing a sibling. You can be sad about Octavia, but you can't come and witness his death. Come and cry over her so that everyone can see that you do have a heart. You're not just a monster. Is he gonna reap her first? Grim, don't piss me off. I definitely did not. What was that? That wasn't crying. He does not care. He just does not give a damn. I tried to give you a redeeming moment, buddy, but you look way too happy with yourself. Like, I told him to cry. This is crying, apparently, for him. Okay, whatever. So he has officially done what he needs to do. Technically, Ashton would be the next in line. Corey would, but he's going to get on this throne and he is going to crown himself king. Stop pretending to cry. Okay, so he has joined the royal career. I'm going to cheat him up to the top. Oh, look, he's cheerful. He can be cheerful. Okay, and now he's the king. Even though Octavia is not done dying yet, but she's not the queen anymore, and you can see these guys don't have the princess label because Ember is the king. So once Octavia finishes dying, we'll leave this family where it is. These two kids are devastated. They lost their mom, they lost their dad, and they lost their brother. And now they are locked up. So they're kind of like, "Oh, great. What do we do?" All right, there we go. The whole family has been wiped out. For now, I'm going to go back to the who is going to be our main household, and we will decide amongst ourselves what to do with the children. Do we decide that he will kill them? Do we decide that he will kill Ashton but spirit away Corey somewhere else and just say that he died? Um, very many decisions to be made. I'll be back when this is done loading. All right, so I got them in here at the tavern. They are going to stay here for the night. As you can see, there are already some people in here and working, so they're gonna stay here probably for a couple nights, I think. But this is the room that I deleted everything in here and made it so that this was like if you came with kids, this is where the kids would stay. And then these are like double beds. Obviously, this one's pushed against the wall, so you probably wouldn't stay with two people in there. I know they can scooch over, but whatever. Um, and then I deleted a room that was over here and put a dining table because they had a bunch of glass dining tables here. And then in the basement, if she wanted to, she could come down here and make some wine. Um, they don't really have money for that, but if I wanted them to, she could. And I did put a crib in this room. So I think I'm going to come and have her. Ugh, this baby's gonna stinky herself. I'm gonna get her to poop her pants before I put her to bed. That way I can change her diaper um before I put her to bed. And then when I get her into bed, I will probably have her also get to sleep. I need to figure out how much I want her to pay. Change her diaper. And then you can go ahead and put her to sleep. Maybe I'll do 25 person per night because per person per night because they're sleeping in the cheaper room. And then, oh, poor fuzzy baby, because she's not going to want to be away from the baby. And then if they were to stay in the private room instead, she would pay more. Um, but right now she's just going to stay here. Don't fuss. Go to sleep. I'm going to have her order some food and then take an extra 50, 25 for her, 25 for the baby. I don't know that they would have charged for the baby, but I'm going to in this case. Okay, she's going to have a meat and cheese platter for herself because the baby doesn't eat. Obviously, I am going to have to figure something out in terms of how she's feeding the baby. Can she hear the music in here? No, because the door is shut. She should definitely be able to sleep. If you guys are watching this and I charge the 50 and you think it should be more than 25 per person per night, let me know. But I feel like that's going to add up very quickly because I'm building out the Ultimate Tiny Town spreadsheet. And by the time she is 16, she's going to be taking over the throne. I may actually change that because I realize that she can't actually become a queen with the mod or anything until she is a young adult. So I may have to um change that. I may have to spread it out longer, but I want the Ultimate Decky challenge to start right in 1300. So right now she turns 16 in 1299 and she will be on the throne and married by then. However, the game doesn't let me actually change her age, so I may add more years in and go further back. And because right now I have it so that she was born in 1284 because that was 16 years prior to 1300. I may have to change that out to a different, like I may have to make it so that she was born a lot earlier than that, and like the day that she becomes a young adult, have that be when 1300, like 1300 starts the year after she becomes a young adult. I may have to do that. I'm sad that I can't use this. It could also just be like the game could just be busted, but I'll just put this one down. Ugh, I need one that's plain enough. They paid, so we paid for the bed. She has to sleep in the bed. Okay, whatever. Can you go ahead and go to the bathroom and then go to sleep? They're going through it today. Okay, I'm gonna have her go to sleep up here. Well, you know what? Okay, so she paid the 50, so I'm gonna have her sleep in this bed because let's just say she paid the 50 for herself to have a nice updated room to herself, and the baby is supposed to be sleeping on the floor in her room. So she's paying, it's $50 per night for this room, not per person. If they were sleeping in here, it would be 25 per person. And that's kind of, you can get a lower cost if you're traveling by yourself. Um, or it could end up saving you money. If you have kids, you have to pay 25 per kid basically to put them in the kid room. But she's not going to actually have the baby in there. The crib just wouldn't work. So she's paying 50 for tonight to sleep in here, and then I don't know. I'll figure it out. She can't light any of these because I don't have firewood. I may have to put that out. Who's over here? Oh my god, the land grabs! They're still together. Look at them. They're precious. Oh! Okay, so I'm gonna let them sleep for a while, and I will come back after they've gotten some rest and decide if they're going to travel on to the next town or if they'll stay here for a little while, maybe try and earn some. I mean, she has enough money right now that it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Um, but we'll see. All right, so I had her wake up and I had her get dressed again because she can't be running around in her pajamas. I'm having her meet Marcus Flex so that she can like talk and see if there's any talk about what's going on in Del Sol Valley in the kingdom. If he knows anything, um, she's going to do a respectful introduction, and she can just be like, she can kind of start her story here about like what happened and like her husband and all that. Where is the music coming from? I need to turn it down. Okay, so she didn't learn anything new. So we'll say that what she learned is that unfortunately they're dead. They've been killed. Let's go ahead and feed the baby. She's already gonna get tired so fast, and the baby's also already tired. Can you put Desiree to bed? We're probably gonna have to pay extra to use that crib. But I just want to see if it works. If it works, they're going to stay in here tonight. Oh no, it's Reginald McCrook. Will he recognize us? Let's go and meet Fia Acosta. Do you see this? Oh my god, love at first sight. She just fell in love for the first time. So do we try and add Fia to our little group and have her come with us? Wouldn't that be That would be cute. If we like band together, maybe Fia's also traveling alone and like they could be traveling companions together. Yeah, maybe they travel together and that's just like a cute little thing we can do with them. Um, because that would be cute if they like became companions and they travel together because they're both traveling alone. That could be fun to kind of explore, especially because she fell in love. I guess I should see how Fia feels. Like if Fia's not a lesbian, then it won't do me any good. Fia has to at least be into girls. She's gonna be miserable because she doesn't like this music, and I can't get it to stop because I can't find the music. They did too good a job of hiding the speaker. It's probably like super minimized somewhere. Maybe it's behind one of these. I'm gonna go into build mode and see if I can find it. I'll be back. Okay, so I found it. So they have a TV hidden under these rocks here. They also hid the speaker under these rocks. So do I need the speaker? Like, is that required? It is. So the stereo is required. I do, however, have some medieval themed ones that I can put out on the table so we can easily see it. Okay, so I found it. It's just that little Knights music box here, and it still considers it a completed lot. So, but now the music has stopped. Let's come over here and see if she wants to get to know us. Oh no, military personnel. Surely it's too soon for them to suspect anything, right? Let's see. Female. Oh no. She's not going to be interested in us. That's heartbreaking. We found the one and she's not actually interested in us. Well, let's play with her anyway. Oh, she's leaving. Talk about impact of behavior. Yeah, you being straight, it really ruined my life. Okay, so are cribs just broken? Because she won't go to sleep. Did they break cribs? Oh yeah, okay, cool, 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 cool. So yeah, babies won't sleep in cribs anymore. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna... Oh no, what does he want? Oh good, he changed his mind and decided not to come and talk to us. I'm gonna have her, okay, he's leaving. Okay, so he's not here for us. He was just wandering. Okay, that's good, 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 good. And also, it's fall, so why is she so hot? I'm so sad that she fell in love with Fia and she can't explore that because Fia's straight. That actually makes me so sad. Oh, bye, Fia. I hate that the game will let her find her one. Get up. Okay, let's see. Do we pay another $50 to stay here again, or do we have her move on? I think we're gonna, for now, have her stay one more night because now she is afraid because she saw and he's still here just lurking. So these two people both showed up today and now she's nervous that they're looking for her. So she's afraid if she goes on the road that they're going to be like, "Oh, that's suspicious," and that they're going to follow her and take her back. And she obviously does not want that. So she is going to stay one more night here. And then tomorrow, when they're not lurking, she will head back. She'll head out again and she'll try and get them a little further. And that way, also, I would have time to go ahead and um, get another bar down. She can order. That didn't really fill her. Let's have her get some fish and chips. And they're just going to keep on traveling and she is going to try and get them somewhere safe. So I'm going to take away another $50 because again, she's not paying for a baby who can't sleep in a crib. And unfortunately, the babies can't sleep on encrypts. I wonder if anyone has done a mod to fix that, but right now I'm not gonna go looking. Probably next time I see you, maybe I'll have that. Maybe even like I'll save it and go because I'm trying to not record too long. So I've already been recording for an hour and a half. I may stop this recording and start another recording and just have like a couple of them. I think building up an inventory of videos, even though I don't want to have a bunch that I've already pre-recorded, it might end up being better for me because right now I'm really just getting the hang of it and maybe having a couple of videos already in there would be good for me. But I'm gonna have her, okay, so she's gonna go to the bathroom and then she's going to go ahead and order some. Oh, she can't order food because no one is tending the bar. Okay. That'll be a problem because she's wicked hungry, but I guess she'll just have to deal with it. Um, Although I could go into build mode, put down a foraging thing and have her go and hunt and go and gather wood and see if I like that, if she can cook on it. Oh, we're getting another bartender. So I'm just gonna have her order food for now because I don't want to. She needs to eat before she goes to bed. She's crazy because a meat and cheese platter, you get a whole serving size for like multiple people for way less. I don't know why she won't sit at this table. Oh no, she had a blowout and I don't have a bathtub or a sink or anything. Via sentiments about Elizabeth, she's stuck up. Oh, Via, you bitch. And she's not opening to exploring. Okay, well. Oh no. Yeah, something nasty. She crapped herself. I might need to put a tub in here. Oh, maybe in the coat room they have a tub. Okay, so it saves, so I'm just gonna really quickly plop a bathtub into this bathroom. I'm gonna say that they had to pay 10 simoleons to give a bath because they have to use the property's water. But the baby's really stinky. She had a blowout, so like she's gonna have to do it. There's nothing we can do about it. So we're gonna go ahead and take away 10 simoleons for that, and then she can give Desiree a bath. Oh, she's gonna pass out. Well, we'll let her pass out really quick. Put the baby down to pass out. We gotta feed the baby as well. I'm really upset because I feel bad for her. Like, she's so tired. She's not used to being the only one caring for the baby because even, like, well, first off, the baby was very sick. So the baby was never out of Octavia's sight. But then even if the baby had been out of Octavia's sight, they would have had maids and servants and like they probably would have had like a wet nurse. Like they would have had so many people helping take care of the baby. It never would have just been her. So she's not trained to take care of babies. I know you're gonna scream, but I need you to wake up because you have to eat. I'm gonna have her feed her, then I'm gonna have her put her on the mat so she can go back to sleep again, and then I'm gonna have her go to sleep. And then in the morning, they're going to leave this property. I was hoping to be able to have her have a new little friend go on her adventure with her, but it doesn't seem like she's going to be interested in women. And I cannot have her admit to having feelings for a woman who is then going to just potentially betray her. Ew. I didn't realize he made that disgusting noise. Ew. Oh, she's a happy spitter. You know what? Whatever floats her little boat. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave the video. So I say goodbye and see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.